Well, welcome to the Law and Financial Services panel. For a couple of people that I think have just joined, my name is Kat Banbury. I'm part of the CIPD branch here in Gibraltar and also an early talent recruiter and consultant. So it's such a pleasure to be here with four inspirational members of the law, accountancy, insurance and banking community. I'm going to talk very little now, but first I'm going to ask them to introduce themselves briefly, and then we're going to get into the nitty-gritty of what careers in these different sectors look like, and we're going to definitely leave enough time for you to ask any questions. So I do hope that you've got some that we talked about in our welcome session. So should we start with Arianne?
Hi, my name is Arianne Costa and I'm a chartered accountant. I represent the Gibraltar Society of Accountants here in Gibraltar.
Hi, my name is Pecino. I'm a chartered insurance broker and I'm representing the insurance industry.
Hello, good morning. I'm Marvin Cartwright. I'm the Chief Executive Officer of Bank J. Saffron Saracen, which is a private bank based here and in London.
Hi everyone, good morning. My name is Sam Marrache. I'm a barrister at Sands and I'm representing the legal industry in Gibraltar.
Please can we go through and allow you to tell us what opportunities are there within your sectors in terms of the different career paths that our students might be thinking about?
So from my perspective, I think I'd like to start just by trying to bust a few stereotypes. So Society of accountants tend to be seen as quite grey, quite boring, quite a traditional desk-based job. And that was my impression as well. So when I was 16, I had a summer job at an accounting firm in Gibraltar. And that myth was very quickly busted when I realised that actually, and I think as a panel kind of moves on, you'll realise I really like to talk. And this job really allowed me to get out, meet clients, speaking to people, interviewing people. I wasn't just sat at my computer, punching numbers into Excel, and I think that's really key to understanding our industry. I started actually working when I was 18, so I did my A-levels here at Westside in Gib, and I joined the firm that I had my summer job with. I did all my training here in Gibraltar. I spent 7 years as an auditor, so auditing allows you to get out into the market, really understand different industries, because you're going out, going into clients and you're understanding what they do, how they make money, how their businesses work. And for me, as an 18-year-old, that was just doors open to understanding all the sectors, and I think specifically the sectors represented here today, because I had many clients across all of these sectors. So for me, that's the biggest thing I'd like to bring across today, just busting that myth. It's not a job where you're going to be sat at a desk just crunching numbers. Lots of different paths into the career, whether you want to go away to uni, we can talk later about that. You want to go and study at university, study a degree in accounting or anything else, come back, do a couple of years of professional exams to really focus on the accounting industry. And then, the world is your oyster. There's just so many opportunities you can take. So hopefully that just gives you a little bit of an insight into different paths, and I think as the panel continues, we'll go into a little bit more detail of the different paths you can take. Thanks.
Thank you. So as I was saying, I've been working in the insurance industry for about 10 years now. And what I like to say about the insurance industry is that it's fun, it's social, but it's serious at the same time. I like to say that insurance is one of the silent pillars of our economy. And to put into perspective, 1 in 5 cars in the UK is insured from Gibraltar-based insurance companies. So when you think about the types of roles that we have in Gib, we've got about 50 insurance companies registered in Gibraltar, about 30 insurance intermediaries, and about 5 insurance company managers. You can make notes and Google that sort of stuff, because I can't really go into detail for all of it, and I'm sure I will bore you all with it. But if we're thinking about insurance companies, the types of roles that you might see are underwriting, you'll see claims, you'll see compliance, actuarial roles, which is very numerical, mathematical. Within insurance intermediaries, We tend to see more sales and business development. So if you like mixing with people, you're a people person, brokerage is a good career. You've also got claims functions. If we're thinking of insurance company managers, the types of roles that you're probably going to see are more compliance, a bit more desk-driven, and a lot more actuarial, more numerical. But the point is that there's a big variety of roles. I think everyone could fit into the industry, and there's a demand for jobs, and it's important for you guys to be aware that there is a big insurance industry in Gib. It's not just, excuse me guys, but it's not just law, accounts. Again, the insurance industry exists, and there's a big industry.
Okay, so who's seen or heard of the movie The Wolf on Wall Street? Okay, well, unfortunately, banking's not quite like that. Yeah. But it is fun, and very similar theme here. I think what you'll find in banking, don't assume at all about numbers. I started as a cashier, pre-Euro, when every country had its own currency, so there's a lot of exchange, people go on holiday. But look, in banking, you can shape a career as you go on a professional journey, right? You've got compliance, you've got operations, you've got sales, you've got marketing, you've got legal, you've got accounting within banks as well. And there's a whole new revolution in banking today as well, which you could all relate to, because we've got the whole crypto and digital space. And the fact of the 10 regulated banks in Gib, you may have seen a very weird-looking bank down in Casemates called Zappo. Okay, that's a digital bank. And now we talk in the industry of having decoders and engineers. So actually the careers are very, very diverse. And I think a common theme, if you've heard from Arianne as well, is don't make the assumption that banking is just a boring desk job. I know I'm wearing a suit, but tomorrow's dressed out Friday, okay? And it has changed a lot, and I think it really can shape really exciting careers. I've travelled the world being in banking. I've worked for multinational companies, which is an incredible grooming ground to develop you personally. I've eaten in exceptional restaurants. I've met very, very extraordinary people and entrepreneurs, and it really is a rich career. And we want more people to join us. There's 10 banks in Gib, about 350 to 400 people working in banks, and we need people. So think about it.
So don't quote me on this, because I think I read it in an article in 2013, but Gibraltar has the highest number of lawyers per capita in the whole world. So we beat California, we beat the US, we beat everyone. And I think the reason for that is because there's a lot of work in Gibraltar, and you'd be surprised at the breadth of work that there is. So as the panel has already said, the law is not about, for example, my personal job is about this, but going to court and arguing with people and fighting, as you see in the shows and the series. There's a wide variety of work that we do. So in my case, for example, yesterday I was on a trial, multi-million-pound trial to do with telecommunications in Gibraltar. Next week I'll be in a trust trial, which is to do with a family matter. And the week before last I was representing a Gibraltar national player in a breach of contract claim with his club. So you can see that even in my sphere, which is actually going to court because I do litigation, you don't have a day that's exactly the same as the next, which is the beauty of law. And the great thing is that for solicitors, which are people that don't go to court that much, they have exactly the same experience. So they're negotiating contracts, they're meeting with clients, multi-millionaires that are in Gibraltar, they're meeting with normal people in Gibraltar on family matters. It's just this wide variety of work that we get to do in the legal industry. And I'm sure it'll be touched upon later, but it's not just lawyers in the law firms in Gibraltar as well. So people think of law, they think of barristers, they think of solicitors. We've got legal assistants, paralegals, people working in the compliance departments, people in the company management departments. It's just an extremely wide variety of roles within the legal sphere. I'm lucky enough to be able to be in the litigation department, but everything and everyone will have their own needs and their own likes, and I'm sure that there'll be something for everyone that wants to get involved in law.
Thank you all. Those were the super overviews of your different industries. So we're now going to delve a little bit deeper. We'll dot around because we've mentioned loads of different things already that I want to touch on. But I think one thing that is really important, and I mentioned it in my introduction, is being blunt about whether you need a degree to succeed. Because I think, to my mind, it is often an assumption that to work in any of these industries that we're mentioning now, you need a degree. That's just a prerequisite. It's not even something you need to think about. You just need to get on with it, get your degree, come back and present yourself to the insurance company and say, hi, what do I do next? But I think it's fair to say that that's absolutely not the case in many of these industries. So I don't know if anyone would like to start on the topic of, do you need a degree? I thought you might, Marvin. Perfect.
Okay, so when I was your age, I was a bit of a Gibraltar. And it was actually, seriously, it was a little bit of a bad phase in my life, and I went off the rails a little bit. I did my 11s, I didn't do very well. In those days, you had to get a certain number of points for your grade, and if you got 12 points, you would then get a scholarship to university. Now you go anyway. So I did have a university place, the University of Southampton, but I didn't get the points. So I said, okay, summer, it's not going to be a summer party like you guys are looking forward to after your exams, but I thought, oh, I'll get a job in the meantime. And I got a job, as I mentioned before, as a cashier in a bank. And I thought, well, starting to earn some money yet. And I started to enjoy the work, and it was sociable, and you build a new network of friends and people. And I decided to stay. So to this day, I don't have a degree. I'm the chief executive officer of the bank. It's a multinational bank. I look after 150 staff in here in London. And I've enjoyed a career from the very grassroots of being a cashier all the way up. And as I said before, you find your path. I mean, obviously, I've had a bit of luck on my side. I've worked very hard. I've found the right path. Sometimes you're in the right place at the right time. But you certainly don't need a degree. Whilst we're here to encourage you to do well in your studies and progress, I think what all of our industries do is they give you an opportunity in work to, when we're young, we don't always know exactly what we want to do. And as you go through the next 4, 5, 10 years of your lives, you might find different paths on that route. So the beauty of being in work in industries like ours is that actually we're very supportive of giving professional training. And I started as a cashier, then I went into customer services, then I went into credit. But really what I liked was sales and client interaction. So that's what I predominantly did. And along the way I studied and did certain exams to help support my professional career. But that can come later. And I think there is opportunities for people who might not go to uni to join our industries too. So it's a fair long ride.
Thanks, Martin. So I was not a geisha, rather, at school. I was quite geeky, I would say. I was really into studying. Scrummers laugh when we go back, because he was my school friend. I was obsessed with school. I thought, I'm going to go to uni, I'm going to go to the best uni, and I'm going to do this, and X, Y, Z. And I thought, at your age, I had my life planned out, or what I thought my life would look like. And then I got this summer job in this industry, and through speaking to people there, I realised that actually one of my bosses had never gone to uni, and similar to Marvin, had actually studied from DIB, bearing in mind that studying from DIB back then would have been very, very different to studying now, where you've got the internet and you can do online courses and you can travel, etc. So this was in 2010, so I decided actually I'm going to stay here, I'm going to join the firm, work. I find that I learn better through work rather than just sitting in a book and kind of highlighting notes. I find that doing practical assessments